Hey, it's Alec Torelli from Conscious Poker, and in this video, we're going to talk about a brand new poker site that's going to disrupt, transform online poker. But we're going to do that by talking about some of the problems with online poker that we've seen throughout the years. What are some of the challenges that we as a community face, and how do we fix them? And so I think one of the first challenges of online poker, I've seen this, been in poker 20 years, but started playing online, maybe 18 years ago with early days of party poker, Full Tilt, Poker Stars, and seen those sites and the game transform so much throughout the years. And I think one thing that's never really happened with online poker that I'm really excited about is that the poker sites are all owned by a small group of people. And those people have an incentive to increase the bottom line of the poker site. Okay, and so when that happens, and we've seen this happen as poker sites have gone corporate, they've gotten bought, they've gotten merged in acquisitions, and people in the poker community have been left kind of, struggling because their benefits are taken away because these poker sites, their goal is to make more money. And when they make more money, that comes at the expense, oftentimes, of the players who have competing interests, right? The players want the best benefits. They want a share of the pie, they want rake back, they want some benefits from their frequent player points or whatever it is that they get from playing on the site. But the sites, of course, want the most amount of profit. So it seems like these two people have competing interests. And what if there was a way to transform things? What if there was a way to align the interests of the players and the owners by making them one and the same? And that's really the way to do it. What if you made every single player an owner? Well, now they would have the same interests. And imagine how everyone would behave if they didn't just try and look at the site like an extractive thing, like they're trying to get the most out of the site they're playing on, but if they looked at it like they owned that site. And you've probably experienced this in your own life if you've rented a car from, a car dealership on a vacation versus you worked hard and you bought a car. How do you treat that item that you own versus you buy, whether you own a house or buy a house, or you own something or rent something, or you're staying in an Airbnb versus your own house? You treat that item a lot differently. And so imagine the care that everyone would put into poker if everyone was an owner. Well, I'm really excited to announce I am an ambassador for and an investor in Phenom Poker. It's a brand new poker site that it's really going to transform online poker. You can head over to joinphenom.com, joinphenom.com, hop on the waiting list. You'll get 100 free tokens just for, if you play in the first 60 days, which I'm really excited about. I'll share more details about that. Also, if you have a network of players, be sure to click the link in the description below. You can apply to be an agent, and there are great token bonuses available for people that can onboard other players to Phenom Poker. So if you have a big network or you know a lot of people that play poker and that want to play online, click that link in the description and I'll get you set up to be an agent on Phenom as well, and we could help build the site together. I'm super excited about this because this is the first poker site ever to make every player an owner. Now, how do they do that? Well, they use blockchain technology, and instead of your rake back coming in the form of dollars in your account, you actually earn tokens that are distributed that represent ownership. So for every dollar you would earn in rake, instead of earning that dollar in your account that's just a frequent player point, or it's actually a dollar, you earn a Phenom token. And that Phenom token represents ownership. There's 50 million Phenom tokens, and you earn those tokens. A percentage of those tokens are 50% are given out to the community in the form of rakeback. And so the cool thing is, because you're earning tokens while you're playing on the site, you now are an owner of Phenom, and that gives you a lot of benefits. The first benefit is that 50% of the rake of the entire poker site, right? There's some poker sites out there that rake millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, so if Phenom grows, then percentage of then the value the holders are getting, the owners are getting, is going to increase with it. So the first benefit is that every single week, 50% of all the rake on the entire site of Phenom Poker is distributed proportionally to the token holders. So essentially, playing on the site earns you tokens, which is like a dividend. You have like a dividend-paying stock, so to speak, because you're earning weekly checks just by holding those tokens. Now, you could also, if you want to sell your tokens or you want cash, you want liquidity, at any time, you can sell those tokens back to the treasury. They will buy them for you, and they will you can sell the tokens and get USDT, which is a stable coin, and you can basically sell them for cash at any time. So this is the first huge benefit, I believe, to playing on Phenom, and what Phenom is doing is they're making every single player an owner. Now, the second benefit that comes with that is we talked about, the players and the sites having competing interests, right? So sometimes the players want something, they demand a change, or they want something to be enacted. They want a certain feature to be added, or they want a certain security measure to be had, or they want the site to be operated or governed in a certain way. But then the site, they're just voicing their opinions, but a lot of time that falls on deaf ears. The sites don't care. They're corporate. They want to increase their bottom line. They don't really care that much about the players, to be honest. We've seen that throughout the poker community. But with Phenom, it's different. Because every single player is an owner, anybody in the community can submit a proposal to Phenom, and the community, based on their ownership, their tokens that they hold, votes on whether they want that proposal to be enacted or not. And so it's basically like a group ownership. It's collective ownership. And if you're familiar with crypto, it's a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. It's going to function in that way, where based on your token stake, you have those amount of voting rights. So if you have 10 tokens, you have 10 votes. And so anyone that's an owner could submit a proposal. And if that proposal is passed, then it will be enacted. And so this allows multiple things to happen. Number one, it's a site for the players, by the players, and it actually is going to benefit the players the most because the players all have an interest to do what's in their best interest, and they're going to move that forward through the governance of Phenom. But the really cool thing is that it allows this like groupthink collective to move things forward. So if you've ever watched, those gaming shows where people could phone a friend or they could ask the audience their opinion, the audience usually has the right answer. And so in this case, the audience is the entirety of the poker community that's playing on Phenom. And so if anyone has an idea, or if we can leverage the minds and the superpower of tens of thousands of people that are playing on Phenom, we could probably figure out what the best way to solve challenges are. Now, there are challenges with online poker. I'm not going to pretend like there aren't. We'll talk about some of those. But if we have, instead of a small group of people that maybe are disconnected from or out of touch with the actual player experience because they're, on a board, or they're in the corporate world, or they're running the site, they're not actually the players, they're not playing on the site. If we could connect those things and have the people that are actually using the site every single day and playing on the site, we could have the customers of the site be owners and them thinking about how to solve the problems and come up with the best solutions. That governance is going to make the site, I believe, one of the best places to play on the internet. So I'm super excited about this governance in connection with ownership for Phenom Poker. The third thing is player security. We've seen many cheating scandals in online poker. We've seen RTA, real-time, assistance of people using solvers. We've seen collusion. We've seen so many different ghosting, so many different problems with cheating in online poker. Now, I'm not going to pretend like Phenom's going to make this zero, or that it's never going to happen. There always will, I believe, be cheating in some form in online poker. It's unfortunate. If you open a store, there will always be shoplifting. You're never going to have 0% of your merchandise be stolen, right? Maybe unless you own a car dealership and it's really hard to steal a car. But the point is that, like most businesses, there is some slippage that happens with bad actors. There are bad actors that get away with bad behavior. And I'm not going to pretend like Phenom's going to solve all of that, because it's still, I believe, going to happen to some extent. But again, leveraging the entirety of the community, we have, thousands of people that are owners that have an interest in solving this problem because they're also players that are going to work to make this the best way possible, to move it forward in the best way possible for the community, protect the community. There are also some things that Phenom is doing on the player security standpoint that I believe is going to help mitigate against the risk of cheating, RTA, etc. The first is every player has to be what's called KYC, which is Know Your Customer, which means they attach their real identity to their online player account. And Phenom is talking about what's called doxing, which means sharing the identity of players publicly if they get caught cheating and banning them for life. And I think this is a really good deterrent because, people respond to incentives. You've heard the old adage from Charlie Munger, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. If there's a large, disincentive for people to cheat or be bad actors because they are going to get exposed publicly, they're going to have their reputations ruined, then it's going to be a big deterrent. Is it going to stop everyone? Again, no, it's not going to stop every single instance. But again, it's about mitigating it, and it's not necessarily making it perfect. It's about making it better than other places. It's about putting this as a priority. And I think other sites have been a little bit lackadaisical. They maybe even allow things like bots to happen because those bots generate a lot of rake. And I think Phenom from my experience talking with the owners, by the way, I have an entire talk on this subject with Matt Vallejo, the founder and CEO of Phenom Poker. You can watch that right up here or just search back on my YouTube. He talks about this at length, and he's really committed to making this, a big issue and solving this problem of player security. Another thing is just utilizing a lot of big data and really analyzing betting patterns of all the players and actually making this a priority, right? It's about having the vision to make this a huge priority for the players and the community of saying, look, we take cheating very seriously. We are going to analyze, using big data, betting patterns of players. And if we notice that, hey, these two players are in a pot more often than they mathematically should be, and when they are in a pot versus a third player, they are hyper aggressive against each other, they could look at that data and find conclusively or with probabilistically that these players are colluding, and they could look into that. So they're putting a team together to do big data analysis to secure the site in the best way possible. And I think that combined with the entire community getting behind this and submitting proposals and coming up with ways to help mitigate against this is going to make Phenom one of the most safe places to play online poker. The fourth thing that I'm really excited about is counterparty risk. And we've seen this, of course, with most famously around Black Friday, where poker sites mismanaged player funds and players got caught holding the bag. Their funds were frozen or lost or locked up for years, and they trusted these big sites because they had millions of dollars and thousands of players and a lot of rake, and they trusted these sites like a bank. And when you take counterparty risk, there is risk there. It's not 0% as we've seen in the past. With Phenom, that can't happen. Because they use blockchain technology, you control all of your own funds at any time. Now, this is also a bigger responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. So you do have to control all your own funds in your own secured crypto wallet. But the Phenom never touches the money. When you want to play on Phenom Poker, you open a table. For those familiar with crypto, each table is its own smart contract. You don't deposit money onto Phenom. You decide to play on an individual table. You sit down at the table. Let's say you're playing 5-10. You sit down with $1,000. Your money goes from your crypto wallet to that table. You're playing with $1,000. Let's say you double up. You have $2,000. You cash out. When you cash out, the money goes directly from that table back into your crypto wallet. So the only time your money is ever not in your wallet that you control is when you're sitting down at a table. Immediately when you cash out, it goes back to your wallet. And because they're using a layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum called Polygon, the fees are extremely, extremely cheap. So it's a half a penny to move money back and forth from your crypto wallet to the table and back. So it happens instantly. It's very cheap. It's almost free. And this eliminates the counterparty risk. And also, you don't have to wait 24 hours for to cash out. You don't have to worry about, I don't want to keep money on this site. They're going to freeze my account, or I don't know if the site is going to run off with my money or whatever. You control all your own funds. The fifth thing that I'm super excited about is the player benefits. Phenom intends to bring back what we used to see on Stars with Supernova Elite. They have 5 various tiers of player benefits. And if you play a lot on Phenom, you accrue a lot of rake. They want those tiers to be very lucrative for the players. So, and remember, when you're playing on Phenom, not only do you have these tiered benefits where you get, more and more value for each tier that you play in, but you're earning tokens, which is ownership. So as you earn more ownership and earn more value for playing on the site, that comes back to you much more than it would by earning some frequent player points where you could buy a hat. You actually get, weekly share of the distribution of the rate, plus you have ownership in the site. And the way that the value of the tokens work, and this is not financial advice, just specific details on the token structure, is that those tokens are redeemable for cash at any time. And so the token price is based on the amount of rake that the site is generating. So the more that the site generates in rake, the higher the value of those tokens are. So it's really cool because everyone has an incentive to play on the site and grow the site and build the site up for the future, because they're all getting some small piece of it through playing on the site. Now, there are some cool opportunities available for the first 60 days. If you go to joinphenom.com, enter your name on the waiting list, or make an account and play on the site, you will earn 100 free tokens. And that's only available for the first 60 days. You have to generate $100 in rake. So there are some cool opportunities available. If you head over to joinphenom.com or click the link in the bio, enter your name and email, you will be added to the waitlist or be able to join the site when it launches, and you can earn 100 free tokens for playing on the site. This is only available for the first 60 days, an incentive for people to play on the site early. And if you have a group of players, you have a community or you have a network or you're an agent for other sites, Phenom has some very lucrative bonuses, token bonuses, for people that can sign up other players. So there's a link in the description below for a form you could fill out if you want to be an agent on Phenom. I can get you set up with the team, and I would love to help other people spread the word and share and onboard other players to Phenom so we can grow the community together. So definitely check that out as well. And super excited for this next step in the journey. I've always wanted to be a part of something like this where it's community owned and we have a piece of the upside, and it really is exciting to be a part of. And I think the relationship that I've had so far with Phenom has been super positive. The team is great. The ambassadors are great. The team is super excited. Everyone's really motivated, working hard to build something that we believe can really transform online poker. So leave your questions below. I'm happy to answer them in future videos. Stay tuned to this channel as well. More updates are coming. And thanks everyone for your attention. I'll see you in the next video.